Welcome to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah, and today I will be doing a reading for the sign of Pisces for the month of July 2023. I hope all my Pisces friends are doing well. Do let me know in the comments section how things are going for you. As you know, Pisces, this is a general reading, so there will be parts that may not resonate with you. Only take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest for someone else. I've already meditated on the cards, I've already shuffled the cards, and this is the spread that I have for you today. In the past position, we have the Two of Swords, clarified by the Six of Swords. In the obstacle position, we have the Four of Cups, clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. In the present position, we have the Queen of Cups, clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. And in the future outcome position, we do have the Knight of Swords, clarified by Strength. Definitely a lot going on. It does look like in the past you had a choice that you had to make, because you have the Two of Swords, which is a card of duality. It is a card where you choose between two different alternatives that are being presented to you, and even though you did not really want to get emotionally involved and you wanted to kind of bypass the choice altogether, you did still find strength and determination and willpower from your inner guidance enough to choose to move from a difficult, anxiety-ridden situation to a much calmer situation where your energy, would be in high vibration, where you wouldn't be, putting in so much time and effort into something that ultimately does not, bring you the rewards or the results that you were hoping to get. It's interesting that in the obstacle position, you have the Four of Cups, and that is a card that tells me that, emotionally you may not be feeling super fulfilled in the month of July. You may be feeling emotionally like things are just kind of happening, but you're not super invested emotionally in anything, and so that kind of leaves you with an empty feeling a little bit. So it's important for you, Pisces, to focus in the month of July on self-care. You definitely want to make sure that you meditate a little bit, that you drink water, that you take walks in nature, connect with things that are happening around you, because it's important. It's important to connect with something bigger than yourself. And also, meditating helps because we spend so much time in our life thinking that when you think, you are not in the present. When you think, you distance yourself from reality. So it's important to combat too much thinking with not thinking, where you just sort of seemingly don't do anything and are not really thinking about anything, because that kind of makes you kind of feel in line and in the moment, and like connected to the power of present, you know what I mean? So it's important to remember that you definitely want to prioritize doing exercises that help you focus on realignment and rebalancing the energy that comes from within. With the Four of Cups, you also may kind of indulge in unhealthy habits. Maybe you're not sleeping enough, maybe you're not hydrating enough, maybe you're not exercising enough, maybe you're not doing something that is really, really important to you, specifically for your body and mind, because walking a lot of times helps clear the head. So it's important to do. Now, you also have the Queen of Pentacles in the clarifying position, which tells me that first you have to watch how much you are spending, because you want to make sure that more money is not going out than coming in. So you want to have a healthy relationship with money. You want to make sure that you are really doing your best when it comes to establishing, a balanced and kind of reciprocative relationship, you definitely want to not think of money in the terms of lack. That is something that I think is very important. When we have the Queen of Pentacles in the clarifying position, it could also suggest that you may be, you may be attributing too much importance to materialistic things, so you definitely want to make sure that you really value experiences and knowledge rather than materialistic things, because experiences and knowledge will go with you into the next lifetime and the next lifetime and the next lifetime. Whereas money is something it's like an exercise that you have to learn while you're in this lifetime, because every time you come back into a new incarnation, you have to make the money all over again. So the knowledge stays with you throughout lifetimes. The knowledge, like sometimes, for example, I've went out with someone, like a group of friends, and I saw one person eating somewhat fast, and I saw another person, a friend of mine, eating rather slow. And what many people believe is actually, the reason people sometimes eat fast is because they remember for previous lifetimes that they were hungry or they didn't have enough food. They were food insecure. Maybe they were, very, very poor and just didn't have access to, a consistent sort of food coming in. And so on a like subconscious level, somewhere deep down inside, the reason somebody eats fast is because they kind of remember, like, oh, there wasn't enough before, so I have to, make sure I don't miss, the meal or something. You know what I mean? Whereas people who eat slow are not as are not necessarily, they don't have that experience in their past lives. You know what I mean? So it's important to remember, when it comes to money, that is something that you have to figure out how to cultivate in your life. But you have to do that every time, every lifetime. Whereas, there are certain things that last many lifetimes. So make sure you differentiate between those habits. The Queen of Pentacles definitely also suggests, when she appears in the obstacle position, that be sensitive to other people's needs. Sometimes we lack sensitivity to other people's needs, and that reflects in our emotional well-being and our emotional state. In the present position, you have the Queen of Cups, and her cup is the only cup that is closed in the Suit of Cups. So, the Queen of Cups is a great card because it tells me that you are moving towards more compassion for yourself, that you are making prioritizing things that you need. But still, with the Queen of Cups, she's notorious for helping others, so the divine here is saying, have clear boundaries. That's why her cup is closed, because it symbolizes clear boundaries. You don't owe everything to everyone else. You have to make sure that you prioritize yourself first. In the clarifying position, you do have the Eight of Pentacles, which tells me that you are really leveling up when it comes to kind of your work, when it comes to securing resources. It's interesting that you have the Eight of Pentacles in the clarifying position with the Queen of Cups, because it tells me that in this combination, you're becoming a lot more emotionally intelligent when it comes to things that you will accept in your life, things that you see are worthy, because your resources are increasing and you're doing a really great job, kind of leveling up your standards. The basic is no longer enough. You're kind of raising the standards and realizing that you can create a richer experience. You can obtain a richer knowledge, with more depth, with more nuance, with more, it's like looking at a precious stone and seeing all kinds of flickering come from the precious stone, because it's not just a simple block or something of stone. It like plays in the light. And so it's incredible, how much you have leveled up, especially when it comes to your emotions. The Queen of Cups tells me that you have a lot more power over your emotions, and that you are a lot more discernful when it comes to your emotions. So definitely you've been able to master your emotions, and you've come a long way, much more longer than you realize. I don't think you realize how far you've come. Pisces, you are exceptionally important, and so you have a profound effect on people in your life, even though it may not seem that way, because not everyone knows how to communicate their thoughts well or verbalize their emotions well. So just because it is not said to you doesn't mean that it isn't there. Now, you are going to be all about action, because you have the Knight of Swords in the future outcome position, which definitely is a card of go, go, go. It's a card of, you've been waiting for this moment, you've been preparing for this moment, so now you grab what you need and you're out the door, because you are in a go-go move, kind of like movement. But you also have the Strength in the clarifying position, which tells me that you have to remember that self-discipline. Strength is all about self-discipline. It's all about inner strength. It's all about realizing that when you have such powerful inner strength on the inside, you then start to have a certain amount of authority on the outside, and things fall in line. So make sure you cultivate and practice that inner strength, that inner focus, that inner patience, that inner, ability to watch things float by. When you are able to observe without judgment, when you're able to observe without attaching your emotional, I don't know if response is the right word. When you're able to observe without kind of attaching something emotional to it, you increase in your own power. You increase in that emotional intelligence, because you have to become a soldier on the inside, where you have the training, where you have the skills to understand your emotions, to understand your triggers, to understand different environments and how they affect you. When you're able to really practice becoming better at that, I think you're able to turn this action into success. But let's see what we can clarify with the energy oracle card that I pulled earlier today. And we have hostilities, which is a card I haven't had in quite a while. That's why you have the action card, and that's why you also have the strength card as well, because the way you kind of create progress for yourself is through internal guidance, through internal mastery of your emotions, through internal understanding how your energy impacts the world around you. How you can use this third dimension to your advantage in order to progress forward, even though there may be a challenge or an obstacle standing in your way. Let's also see what the ancestor and angel oracle card has for us. And we have shaman, trust in higher forces. Definitely the owl very much represents wisdom. That is, being brought to you, that is being transmitted to you. You may have felt tired lately because we are upgrading to the 5D Earth. And so as a result, there's a lot of information being downloaded into your subconscious. And so you might not even be aware, but feel, lethargic and feel somewhat tired, and not really understand why, because you're not really like expanding that much physical energy, if you will. But it is important to remember that the shaman is a really, really important message, especially from the divine, and he has that, the shaman is basically the bridge, he's able to go into the other worlds, other dimensions, and he's able to kind of come back to others with messages and information that we basically need to know. And right now what you need to know is that if you're able to trust in the unknown, in the universe, in the world. Imagine walking up to an elevator and the elevator opening. It's like the world knows when you need that elevator. The world knows when you're going to be walking up to that train station and getting on a train. So it's important to remember that you create with the universe. It's you do have, and the universe does have. So when you trust in the unknown, when you just have that, think back when you were a child, right? You didn't really need that much explanation. You just knew that, things are going to work out. And even if you were provided the explanation when you were a child, you would probably not be able to make that much sense of it anyway. It's, adult speaking, if you will. So it's important to remember that, that faith is definitely going to carry you through and provide everything that you need exactly when you need it. Remember that you're not late for anything. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And so it's important to have faith because it gives you confidence and determination and the ability to focus on the task at hand, which is what you should be focusing on anyway. You focus on what needs to be done and everything else will be taken care of for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading, dear Pisces. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and I'll see you next time.